This is KUGAN CASSIUS for IFL TV in association with MTK Global. With the final press conference for Dubois versus Fujimoto, live on BT Sport from the Copper Box this weekend, joined by Frank Warren. Hey Frank, been a while?
It has, you good?
Yeah, all good, all good.
Same here.
So you got a little gift today?
Yeah, I did. Don't get sulky about it. You know, I did.
Very
kind
nice.
of it. Yeah, it's nice.
Are you going to test it before you drink it?
Yeah, test it.
Well, make sure it's still. Well, you don't know, there. How do you know?
Like, I'll let you have a drink first.
I'll have a test of it in a minute. Love a bit of sake. Frank, talk to me about Fujimoto. A little bit unknown, but what kind of test is this going to be for Daniel Dubois this week?
Well, look, you know, he's got a ranking in 2 governing bodies. Daniel's not ranked by the WBA for some reason. He wins this fight, he'll get a ranking. He's 21-1. He comes from a fighting background. He was a kickboxer and won a version of the world title doing that. His only loss was 8 years ago, and I think he's a WBO Asian heavyweight. He holds the Asian heavyweight title there. So this is another step up for him, another meaningful fight. In as much that, you know, as I said for a while now, one of my game plan with him is to get him into a mandatory spot by fighting guys who are ranked, moving him up the rankings. So by the time all these, you know, the Tyson, Wilders and Anthony Joshua's get rid of their fights and their mandatory defences next year, that he's in the #1 spot if he keeps winning to challenge them.
You made a very bold statement in the press conference today, saying that your man Daniel Dubois basically would beat Anthony Joshua today.
What I actually said, I said, I fancy my man to beat him, and if I could make the fight, I'd make it in a heartbeat, and I would.
Was that different to what I just said?
Well, I fancy him to beat him. I didn't say he would beat him. I said I fancy him, but I do fancy him to beat him. I think he's got all the tools. I think he's got a great jab. He's a great puncher. I think he's a really good boxer, and I feel that he, right now in this moment in time, if he was going to fight Anthony Joshua, now's the moment to do it. And I think that it would be a great fight for him.
But realistically, in terms
it's
of
not going to happen. Is it? We know that. I just said that he's got his mandatories. But you know, I was asked a question earlier on: would I make the fight? And the answer is I would. Would I make the fight against him and Tyson Fury at the moment? No, I wouldn't. He needs a bit more grounding before that.
But next year could prove to be kind of a very crucial year for Daniel.
Comes through this fight, you know, every fight for him is going to be crucial. You know, we've got, as I said, we've got to get him in that #1 spot. There are some good domestic fights to be made. You know, Joe Joyce is a great fight to be made. Joe's fighting for the European title in January against Hook. You've got Chisora's there. We already made Chisora an offer for him to fight him before they turned it down. He's gone now, David Price. We made him a big offer. And you've got White, Dillian White. They're all fights I'd have no problem making them next year, not at all.
Let's talk about the return of Tommy Fury as well, after his sagas on Love Island, which I'm sure you tuned into every night, Frank.
Never missed an episode.
But like he said, when you listen to Tommy Fury there, for 21, 22 years old, he's got a right sensible head on his shoulders, isn't he?
Well, he's grounded, isn't he? He's very grounded, and he knows, you know, and he's sensible. He see the Love Island thing, as he said himself, a great opportunity to build his profile, and it has. As a result of Love Island, he's got 3 million Instagram followers. He's well known. He's the 4th most Googled person in the UK.
Do you know who the other 3 were?
I can't remember they are now, but yeah, anyway.
I think one was Boris Johnson, I think.
Yeah, was it? Well, who cares? I mean, I'm talking about boxing. You know, he's the 4th most, so he's obviously got a very high profile, and the most important thing that is important for him, but it puts a lot of pressure on him. You know, he's now coming into his 3rd fight, and he's sitting on the top table. Yeah. He's sitting on the top table, you know. A lot of people will be looking at it, and that's an extreme amount of pressure on him when he's still learning his craft. He didn't have a lot of experience as an amateur at all. So this for him is going to be under the microscope, and people are going to be tuning in to see something a little bit special. So I just don't want the occasion to get to him. I don't think it will, but he's got to learn his craft. And we've got to take our time in doing it. It's not something you can rush just because the fact he's well known.
Liam Williams and Atlantes Fox. Tez Fox. So the winner of this will go on to fight the winner of Andrade and Luke Keeler.
The winner of this will be he is #1 Fox, so he's fighting. Liam's fighting for his spot.
Yeah.
So if he gets that number 1 spot,
Yeah.
then Andrade's due to have a mandatory.
Yeah. Okay. That's interesting. Massive incentive there for
It is.
Liam Williams.
It is. He's got, he asked for it, he's got it.
What angry man, isn't he, Liam Williams?
Mr. Angry.
Mr. Angry, yeah.
Mr. Angry, he's angry, yeah. Well, don't take it out on me and take it out on Atlantis. That's what it's there for.
Frank, yesterday we saw Anthony Joshua make a kind of a bit of a bizarre offer to go into
Look, that's not happening.
Tyson Fury's camp.
Do you know what the better idea would be for Anthony Joshua to say? Let's fight and let the fans see the fight. What do you want to go and do it in a gym for? Go and get paid for it, the both of you. Could you imagine them two sparring in a gym? It's never going to happen, but if it did happen, can you imagine that? Why would you do that? Save it for the fight. Make the fight.
Why do you think he said it, Frank, in your opinion?
I've got no idea. I think it's probably just one of those moments. Sometimes people say things that they might make. Listen, he might have done it tongue in cheek. He's got a sense of humour, hasn't he? So,
well, Tyson called it on, said, well, come on then, let's come into camp.
It, but,
would you be happy about that if he went there?
I ain't got no problem, but I don't see the sense of it. What do you want to go sparring for? Behind closed doors. Let all the fans see it. Do it in a ring, get paid for it. I mean, it'll be the biggest fight ever. Why do you want to do that? That's nonsense. It's stupid, ridiculous. Want to make the fight? That's the easiest fight in the world to make. Now, no one can complain. 50-50. Tyson's willing to even give him equal billing as being an undefeated fighter. They give him equal money. They can't talk about all that bullshit in the past about 60-40s, 70-30s. Just cut it down the middle. They'll have a good day at the race if they want it. But that's all down the road now because Tyson's committed to fight. The two best heavyweights in the world are fighting each other in February. The two best undefeated heavyweights are fighting each other in February.
We still haven't heard a formal announcement. We're anticipating one is due shortly, Frank, for...
Yeah, I think it'll be next week, but it'll definitely be done.
Bob Aaron was talking about an announcement like we've never heard before. So...
No, we've not heard it.
No, he's just kind of promising some extravaganza around it.
There will be some extravaganza around it, so we're all looking forward to it.
But when obviously we spoke to Bob the other day, the date's been put out there, Frank, Feb 22nd.
It's on.
Yeah.
It's on, and it'll be confirmed, and tickets go on sale.
Whenever you say it's on,
it's on. Whenever I say it's on, it's not.
Yeah, absolutely. But his next two fights could be that same fight, couldn't it?
Yeah.
Tyson's, yeah.
Yeah, could be. So that's him tied up for the next 6-7 months.
Yeah. Did you buy his Christmas song?
Say again?
Did you buy Tyson's Christmas song?
What, him and Robbie?
Yeah.
Stop playing it. It's on all the time. He's done a Christmas song, WWE.
Yeah, I was there for the WWE.
And he's got the what's it? The autobiography.
Yes, absolutely.
It's enough to make Prince Andrew sweat.
I don't know. Well, he's doing all right.
He's ready to
go. Frank, obviously I haven't spoke to you for the last couple of weeks or so, but just wanted your kind of thoughts on Anthony Joshua winning back his titles from Andy Ruiz.
He boxed brilliantly. He did what he had to do. He came in very light, and that tells you straight away what his game plan was going to be, to get on the back foot and work off his jab, and that's what he did. The other fella obviously made his job easier by coming in 16 pounds heavier than he was the last time round, just to come in as a fat slob and never trained, and admittedly said, his own admission, never trained properly, and that showed. He had no legs. He's got fast hands, as we know, but he had no legs. And I thought he was a disgrace. I mean, won the world heavyweight title and showed no respect for the title or any respect for the fans. But that's that. And at the end of the day, AJ did what he had to do and come back with a belt. So you've got to take your hat off to him for that.
Yeah, it was a fight. A lot of people kind of saw it going either way with what
once
happened in the
he got on
first
those
fight.
scales,
Yeah.
it was only ever going to go one way, weren't it? You knew he hadn't trained, and all the rumours were true.
But like you said, fair play to Joshua. He went there, done the job,
Done what he had to do. You can't. He's a professional. He trained hard for the fight, and and his tactics were on. But obviously, they were helped by a fella who was looked like he was wading through porridge. Looked like he ate a lot of porridge anyway.
Frank, we saw that Canelo Alvarez has vacated his world title. Implications for Anthony Yard for this?
Yeah, I didn't think he was going to do it this soon, but Anthony he's back in action early next year, so he's going to be out.
Against Vlasov?
That's what we're trying to do, yeah. That's the plan, yeah.
Okay. And could that lead to a straight shot at that title?
It could do, but we've got to get it on first. So we're quite close to it. So fingers crossed we'll get it on and we're ready to go.
Yeah. Was there a plan for Anthony Yard to come back before? Obviously not this.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah.
I wanted to get him out, but there was a reason why, and I'm not going to go into it. But he couldn't. So we'll be making an announcement probably the first week of January as to what his plans will be.
You've got an announcement soon regarding kind of your future with BT, etc.
We're doing an announcement in January. We're announcing all what we got coming up. We hope by then we'll have everything concluded, so we can do that. And what's happening also with us and BT.
Any surprises coming?
Not for me.
For us?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Frank, lights on. Frank, wanted to ask you about Tyson Fury also departing ways with Ben Davison and now going to Sugar Hill, who's the nephew of Manuel Stewart. Frank, your thoughts on that? Were you surprised?
I was surprised, but at the end of the day, they parted amicably. They both said what they've had to say on the matter, and Tyson is where he's at, and he's decided that that's what he wants to do. So, that is it. He's the guy who's getting in the ring. He's the one. He's, whatever you want, anybody wants to think about Tyson. The one thing he knows about is boxing, and at his age, I don't think anybody's going to teach him too much. They might improve a bit of technique, maybe, I don't know. But he's an astute scholar of boxing. I'm sad to see that they split up because I think it's been a great team. All of us, working together, and certainly them two, they had a good rapport between the two of them. But it is what it is, and you move on and just focus on the 22nd. He hasn't got a lot of time to prepare, so everything's got to be done right and move forward in a positive manner.
Whenever there is a split, people always love to jump on the bandwagon and find out what's gone on and kind of make it into a conspiracy theory. But by the sounds of it, they've just done what's best for both of them in that situation.
That's it. And they made their statements, and that's it. Hope they might start working together again in the future. You never know in this business.
Not all splits have to be kind of negative, do they, Frank?
No. Me and Billy Joe wasn't negative.
No. They say in general, just people kind of jump to it, don't they?
Yeah.
All right, Frank, have you got anything else you'd like to get off your chest?
Wish all your viewers and subscribers and everything a very happy Christmas, and don't forget to watch the show on Saturday on BT, or if you've got a ticket, live.
4 days. How have the tickets gone for Copper Box, Frank?
They've gone very well. I expect it to be sold out.
Okay. All right, Frank, thank you very much for your time, and we'll catch a word with you after the show on Saturday, and you can give us your best verse. We're asking everyone to do that, by the way, Frank.
So give what?
Just one verse of A Christmas Carol on Saturday.
On Saturday?
Yeah, after the fights. Everyone's got to do it. It's for the kids, Frank. So.
What kids?
Just the kids. You got to do it, Frank.
Of course I'll do it. Don't worry about that.
All right, thank you very much, Frank Warren.
All right.
He is special. Absolute dynamite. Oh my goodness.